Hey, 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 hey.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. So, we are super excited. Oh, we can talk to our audience over here. Super excited to join you tonight. We are talking about New Year, New You, and really, we're talking about what do we need to do or who do we need to be in order to get to all the goodness that we want to achieve and accomplish this year. So before we get started, I want to make sure we all introduce ourselves. I'm going to start with Stephanie.
Hello. I'm Stephanie Ramsey, licensed professional counselor at Vision Works Coaching and Counseling.
Yay. Jamerica.
Okay, I didn't know if I needed an introduction.
I know, right?
I'm Jamerica. I am also a licensed professional counselor at Vision Works Counseling and Coaching.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm Melisa Alaba, group practice owner, money healer, and breakthrough coach. Yes. And I'm coming to you live, guys, from my house. So you know this is some serious business tonight. Some serious business. So I'm so excited because this year you guys have been seeing me regularly, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. But I really wanted to do more with my clinicians and just highlight some of the amazing work they're doing over at the group practice because we truly are growing and we've just been having such amazing results with our clients. So I just kind of wanted to talk about as we're growing, right, as individuals and getting to who we want to be and all the things we want to do, sometimes like our own like stuff holds us up or keeps us from accomplishing what we desire. So sometimes I see when people, they struggle and they might struggle with stuff from their past, depression, anxiety, or sometimes just kind of like fear of like that thing coming true. Like how can they overcome that? I'm gonna start with you, Stephanie. What's two tips you can really like share with us that you can work to break through if you know that you're just a person that you set these goals every year but it doesn't always happen for you? How can you get past that?
I think one thing that helps is accountability. And that could be an accountability partner. Sometimes it's really helpful when you can connect with somebody who has common interest. Um, let's just take like budgeting or money management, for example. Um, if you have a good friend that's trying to get her money together as well, I think that that's somebody that you can bounce conversations off of. Maybe the two of you can go into some type of budgeting plan where you hold each other accountable. It just makes it more fun. I mean, budgeting alone can be stressful and annoying, but sometimes doing it with somebody else, it might help instead of traveling that road by yourself.
Hmm. Awesome. Jamerica, did you have any other tips you wanted to share?
Yeah, just to piggyback off of Stephanie, definitely accountability, and go ahead and add on some consistency with that thing,
Mhm.
because we'll say, hey, what's the infamous? I'm gonna start going to the gym this year. I'm about to shed a few pounds this year so I can be ready for summer 2022. We'll start off real strong in January, maybe even hit it good in February. By the time March, April, May hit, it's like, wait a minute, I'm just paying for a gym membership and I'm not even going. So we got to be consistent with what we are make what our intentions are doing. Just staying consistently on yourself, whether that means literally scheduling it in. I know for me, I put everything in my calendar. Everything, whether it's lunch, dinner, watching a show. I don't care what it is. It's gonna go in my calendar. So you might have to literally schedule it in to hold yourself accountable and just to be consistent. And as well as what Stephanie said, get you a good group, a good support group, some partners that's in this thing together where y'all can say, hey, we know every week we're meeting up, we're going to do this, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think like for me, like even when I heard you were talking about the consistency and the accountability, both of those are really good. And I think both of those are definitely required. For me, it's just like not having a begin date or end date. Because a lot of times we'll be like, I'm gonna start on the first, or I'm gonna start on February 2nd, or I'm gonna start.
Mhm.
Oh, my favorite used to be I'm gonna start on Monday. And then Monday come be like, well, I'm gonna start on Wednesday. Wednesday, well, then the week is over. I'll start next week, right?
Right.
And what I decided to do was, especially like when it comes to working out, and like really, really recently, was getting it in every day. Like every day could be a day for a workout. So I really was just like, hey, 10,000 steps is my minimum every day. I'm going to get these steps in. Now, sometimes I don't make those, but I'll be like, well, dang, girl, you did 6,000, especially on what I call a high butt date. A high butt day is when I'm talking to a lot of y'all clients, a lot of my friends, and I'm sitting on my butt most of the day, right? And I have to be real intentional about walking around. I'd be like, damn, let me just
Mhm.
get 30 minutes. Don't let somebody cancel. I'm gonna tell you, y'all be thinking I'd be upset. I'd be like, whoo, I can go get off my butt and walk around. My back be like
Mhm.
hurting, like all of us as we're doing this. But doing it even when it's not convenient, like it's not scheduled out, because again, I have a schedule that is not always like level. And if I had tried to do the scheduling thing, oh my God, it just won't get done because I'll come up with other things I could do. Y'all know I'll be coming up with a million things. Let me write a blog post. Let me go on this show. Let me do whatever. So I just be like, every day you got to get your 10,000 steps in. And what that has forced me to do is I'll get up in the morning and I work to get 2,000 before I start my day because that gets me going. And then at lunch, I work to get another 2,000. And then at night, like when I get off with you guys today, I'm gonna go get on my what do they call it? The spin bike. I got a lot of tools. I have like spin bike, the walker bike, the tread bike, the spin bike, and I can get easily 5,000 in 45 minutes because I'm gonna do a 45-minute spin around Europe tonight. So
Okay. There you go.
but that's what's worked for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's worked for me. And then like so if I have good 4 days of those, I've really accomplished something, right? And so when I
Mhm.
think of folks who deal with like depression or even like your anxiety where you get so caught up in the future, it's like,
Mhm.
oh, like for me, I already said I was in my closet the other day and I already said it's about to be golf season and I'm gonna have this skirt on and this. Like I literally had this conversation. But you can get so caught up because you be like, well, dang, I'm far off where I need to be, and you don't make any movement. So doing something every day has helped me be consistent and then be accountable to myself. Like I did something, so I know I'm moving in the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So how can you manage it when I feel like some of the goals that I hear people talking about, like, we're back in the new year. So we've had clients talk to us about all sorts of things, right? Whether it is buying a new home, I've had clients talk about, refinancing a home, clients who want to move out of town, out of the country, um, new relationships, all of these different things. But what I'm realizing, or when I think about it, is a lot of this is not just like goal building and I forgot the word they used to use when you have like these different steps to a goal, but it's really like becoming the person that you need to be in order to encompass the goal. Because a lot of meeting the goal is growing into a whole nother
Mhm.
individual, like pushing and challenging yourselves. So that's my question to you guys. What are two things or one way in which you can become the type of person that accomplishes the thing that you want to accomplish in your life?
Well, when you were speaking about like your routine and getting into things and the consistency as well as the accountability, what came to my mind was mindset. Like it
Mm,
has to be some kind of shift in your mindset where you're like, this is what I value. And this is at the top of my priority hierarchy of values list. So no
mm-hmm,
matter what, in my mind, my spirit, my heart, this is something that is very important to me. So I'm going to shift my mindset and
mm-hmm,
I am going to stick to my guns with my new values and stay true to myself with whatever this transition is that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So whether it's leaving jobs, leaving relationships, starting the gym, starting, whatever, you have to have, it has to be some kind of mental shift that just happens to where
Mhm.
you're like, this is high on my list of values, high on my list of my belief system, and I'm going to dedicate myself to this new me.
Absolutely. I love that.
Right.
Stephanie, you have something to add to that?
Yes, I definitely agree with Jamerica. You have to have a absolute um, switch,
Mhm.
like an identity switch has to happen. Um, while I think a lot of times while we're in that journey of change and mindset change and shift, um, when you start to shed, you start to go through those processes and your environment around you starts to change.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times that's where people kind of get stumped or stuck because the other people in their lives or the environments that they're evolving from aren't understanding the growth. And so
Mm.
those other components sometimes come in and try to pull you back down and kind of like that whole crab in a barrel
Yes.
idea. So it can be a struggle. I think identifying your distractions and being aware of some of the other people around you and things that are going on as you're going through this metamorphosis
Mhm.
um, will help you stay on track as well. Just being aware and eliminating those distractions and toxic situations that come up that try to stop you.
Yeah, absolutely. I love all that. And I think too, like as you becoming this new person, one of the things that I thought about is I think we think that we go from A to Z without any zigzag in the middle.
Hmm.
And oftentimes, like when you're made a decision, so I have clients who made a decision they're going to write a new book this year, or they're going to write their very first book, or whatever the case, right? When you've made a decision and you get grounded in becoming someone new, like writing a book, literally you become a new person in writing a book because of the challenges that occur, right? And all the different components in doing this thing. All sorts of stuff starts happening when you create a new goal for yourself. Would you not agree?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Correct.
And this is when you become or really realize who you really are,
Yes.
right? And the things that you really are going to have to power past in order to meet your goal, and know that that's okay. It doesn't mean that the goal is not for you. Because sometimes I meet people and it's like when stuff happens, sickness happens,
Mhm.
uh, somebody that they thought was going to have their back doesn't have their back. Loss of a job, now they have to find a new one. Whatever the case, when things happen, it almost is like, oh my God, they cower in or they begin to hide and they think that that thing is not for them. Have you guys found that too? Like when you're working with folks and shifts and things like that
Yeah,
are happening?
absolutely. I
Yeah.
can even attest to that for myself.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
experienced that.
And what is that? What does that really mean when a shift happens?
Well, speaking for myself, I can even speak about my own shifts and the things that I've experienced. It seems like it just everything around you just starts to turn over.
Hmm.
Sometimes those can be some very difficult times to grow through and go through. Um, Lots of disruptions can come up, whether it's family, love life, financial, um, because you're making this huge change. So some of the things that once were can no longer be.
Mm.
So that has to be accepted through that process.
Wow. So as soon as you said turn over, the first thing I thought about is seeds in the ground.
Hmm.
So like you plant these seeds, you bury them, you have the dirt, you water, you nurture. We don't know anything that's happening at that point, right? Nothing is happening. And then all of a sudden it erupts from the ground and it sprouts up and it's this fruit, it's this vegetable. And that's an eruption that had to break through some stuff to
Yeah.
get to the top. And oftentimes that's what it looks like when we're meeting our goals. And that's a lot of the reasons why I feel like people will have these resolutions at the beginning of the year, but then they'll have the same resolution the following year. Is because right when they were getting ready to break through, it became uneasy. They became unsettled. Like stuff started to like get rocky, and they were like, no, and they shrunk back down. They decided that that seed was not going to sprout.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in order to become yourself, you're gonna have to push through that, because you're gonna become yourself through adversity. And I believe that's why we have people like you guys here. I know like so many levels that I jumped, even like this past year, I could not have done it without my therapist, and I couldn't have done it without my coach. I literally, man, as I'm talking to you guys, I had like a therapist on the left and a coach on the right. And like when stuff was going crazy, I'm like, who am I calling tonight? Like literally. And having that support like held me down, because at the end of the day, what I really needed to do was to get grounded. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all of us are learning what grounded means for us, whether that is, and I'm gonna ask you guys what's your favorite one. Matter of fact, I'll just ask, what's your favorite tool for getting grounded so that you can do the things that you know that you need to do in this moment without getting caught up in the past or in your future?
Yeah. Well, I am mindful ninja. So I I enjoy all things mindful and meditational.
Hmm.
Those are my personal favorite practices. It's something that's gonna allow me to have that one-on-one time with myself and my own mental.
Hmm.
That anything that's gonna allow me to block out the outside noise and just spend some time with my own self.
Yeah. Love that. So mindfulness, and that's something that we teach our clients how to meditate. That's big. Stephanie.
I definitely can second the meditation. I have found that to be so helpful for my personal self. Just getting up early and starting my day earlier than the average person. I tend to try to start my day no later than 5. So
Ooh.
I try to get up and meditate and go through that whole morning routine thing and just kind of sit in silence because
Yeah.
it's so quiet
Yeah.
during that time. That is like the most quiet time of the day,
Yeah.
4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So that's a time when I can just sit and think,
Hmm.
have my little cup of coffee, do my meditation, and then move into some type of physical activity. If I don't get a workout in early, it generally won't happen. So I have to do the early bird thing for it to work. So for me, is setting a routine, having some type of morning routine that supports my day to day. And it doesn't help. It does help to have a little afternoon trap music session. I
Mm.
Okay.
Yes.
and I put these AirPods in and I get busy over here with notes and whatever else I need to do. So
I
yeah.
love that. I do that too. And I'm gonna do that tonight on a treadmill. I like to look, I don't go from the treadmill to the spin bike. I think I'm gonna do them all tonight. That's the type of day I've
Mhm.
had, folks. I'm gonna do them all tonight. I'm gonna do the spin bike in my room. I'm gonna head out to the gym, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
do the treadmill. But listening to the music, I just put my beats in, and that just kind of takes me away.
Yep.
It really
Hmm.
does. And I always tell people though, be careful with the music. So if y'all listening to this, because I've had my clients, this is what I have my clients do. I'm like, let me hear your playlist. Because a lot of y'all got that sad playlist. You pulling out the Mary J. Blige song talking about you trying to get motivated for something.
Mm-mm.
No. Not, especially if it's that 90s Mary J. No.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, he not gonna lead the no. Your music has to be like where it's popping, and the words need to match where you're going. So I have a money playlist that I love to listen to, and that really just gets me in a whole nother mindset of what I need to do, things like that. Um, I'm just thinking like grounding for me. Grounding for me also could be like taking a nice bath with different scents and oils, and just allowing myself to just kind of go to a deeper state of relaxation and feeling taken care of, nurtured, and sitting in a worthy place. Because I think sometimes what I see is people lose their royalty when situations happen. So you go from being, hair done, looking nice, feeling
Mhm.
good, and then a situation happens, you be looking crazy. You be like, what's going on? You match the situation. Like, look, we can't match the situation because it's just a situation. It's just a circumstance. It's not who you are. You get to wear who you are always, regardless of circumstances. And that's not being phony or fake. That's just understanding that we came here to have an experience, and it's not going to always go our way, but it gets to always be our way at the end. So I get to challenge the moment and sit in my power by feeling and looking a certain way all the time. Sometimes I just throw on something. Like I put on my sweater today. This is my royal sweater, by the way, just for y'all.
There you go. Yes.
Just for y'all. Like, if I just need to sit in this space, like, yes, we could do this, right? So cool. So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of end. I appreciate all the tips that you guys have shared tonight. I want to end on a note of your own goals, because I think sometimes when we think of like our own healers, definitely our coaches usually always share what's going on with them, but especially like with therapists, a lot of times today when we think about therapists, so many people feel like therapists are unapproachable. They don't always share things about themselves. So I want to open that up. And I feel like this is what the healing circle is going to be about. And these healing talks is just to let you guys know we're human also. And we also, go reach out to our squad, our group when we need support as well. So just thinking about you guys, what's one big goal that you have for 2022?
Um, I would definitely say that my biggest goal right now is living in the moment.
Oh,
Um, just embracing where I am in life right now
Yes.
and enjoying this moment, and not necessarily tomorrow or next year, and being in that headspace, but the being in the now, enjoying where I am now, and just embracing the current journey that I'm on.
I love that.
Wow, Stephanie, you're a part of my life. Yes. I feel the same. My goal, these are my words for the rest of 2022, is release and peace. So I just want to be intentional about releasing anything that just does not serve me anymore. Whatever does no longer serve me, it's gotta go. I'm gonna release that. I give thanks to my past, and I'm making peace with the now and what's to come.
Oh, I love that. Y'all so brilliant. Ooh. Well, last year for me was definitely a year of healing. So I did a lot of healing last year, a lot of shedding of relationships that no longer served my purpose and where I was, where I'm at. And I feel like this year I'm just going deeper with developing healthier relationships and deeper with developing people around me. So it's so big for me this year to shine a light on all things money trauma, all things money shame, all things coming of age and accepting our worthiness. And so just deeper and very much more consistency around that topic and around helping other women of color reach their goals.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, awesome. It's been amazing. Thank you guys for joining us for our very first talk. We
Thank
will be back
you.
next week with a different topic and a few other of our therapists. We are excited. You can catch the replay right here in our group. This replay will also be shown on our YouTube channel. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye bye. Good night.
Good night. Now, let's see. Can we? Yeah.